Hey y'all. I hope everybody is having an awesome week. Um,
Hello.
Hello. Hey, is that Martinique?
Yep.
I got you down, girl. Okay.
Brianna Collins.
I got you, Brianna.
I'm driving, so I'm put the phone down.
That's fine. Miss Jerica has hopped on. Let me write her down too.
Yes, ma'am. I just got off.
Appreciate you, Jerica. Miss Jada came in. Y'all, we're gonna have a group today. Awesome sauce. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about chapter 3 and chapter 4 as they apply to y'all. Why do y'all need to know this information? Why is it included in this program? Because it's really important, because of the information that we deal with on a daily basis. We deal with so much protected health information, or PHI, as they call it, that we have to know what information we can give out and who we can give it out to, right? And we have to know this information because we can be held legally responsible if we mess that up. Our company can be held legally responsible. Some of y'all will remember doing a project where y'all researched some of the fines that were given to different companies for HIPAA violations. And y'all, they reach up into the millions of dollars. It can bankrupt a company if they get some of these violations. And also, if you give the wrong information to the wrong person, you're opening yourself up to a lawsuit as well as your company. So knowing the laws and how they apply to, as far as consent, who can give consent for the release of records, especially when it comes to things like minors. And you also have to pay attention if said minor is, one parent has the custody of said minor, but the other parent handles the medical situation for the minor. That's how my brother's divorce settlement is set up. His wife has primary custody of their kids, but he deals with all their medical because they're on his policy. So there's stuff that comes into play. There's information that he can get that she can't get because he handles all their medical stuff. It's kind of weird like that sometimes, but you got to know that stuff for your protection, for your company's protection. So I want to talk a little bit. Y'all know the biggest consideration for medical billers and coders is HIPAA because of that health information. And y'all will, like I've said before, every year that you work, every single year, annually, no matter who you work for, and this is held true in every company that I've worked for, there is HIPAA training, annual HIPAA training to keep you updated in case anything changes. That's how important it is. Some outsourced billing companies, they have one person whose job it is to make sure that company stays HIPAA compliant no matter what. That's your HIPAA compliance officer. Sometimes they just call them security officers or something like that. But they're to make sure that the company is staying compliant with federal regulations as far as what information is going where and how they protect that information. They come in and they look at if your doors have locks, if just any old body can get into your building. I've never worked in an outsourced billing company for a third-party biller that did not have some kind of security system because of HIPAA. Key card to swipe wherever you got to go, or you either got to enter in a numerical code to get in the door. Not just any old body is going to be able to walk into that office. And if you have somebody, like our company allowed people to come into our break room and have lunch with us or something like that, they were not allowed to go into our work areas where our computers and information was, but they could come to the break area. But they had a very strict sign-in policy as to who was coming in and out of our building. If a service person, one of those business associates, came into our building, they had to sign in. Sometimes they would have to sign a new business associate agreement before they could enter the building if theirs was expired or, too old or something like that. So all stuff that you have to know about it is going to apply to y'all in a big way. Let's see. as far as HIPAA, there's something I wanna let y'all know about and talk to y'all about, a situation that happened in my office. Because y'all will come across some stuff. Like, we used to do billing in my office. We did billing for an ER surgeon. They would have people come into the ER and he would perform procedures on them, and there was a girl that coded it, and then I did his billing. And the girl that coded it one day decided that the case that came across her desk was so interesting that she needed to talk about it on social media. That was a bad idea. And it's not like she said the patient's name. She didn't have to. The case was so unique that somebody's brother's cousin's sister's husband was friends with so-and-so on Facebook and read the post and was like, oh, she talking about so-and-so, and informed so-and-so that somebody at said doctor's office was spilling her tea all over Facebook. So if you think the axe did not come down once that patient got a hold of the billing manager, baby, jobs were lost over that. And unnecessarily. You will have plenty of opportunity to talk about how weird the cases are amongst yourselves, amongst your coworkers and your providers and your coders and stuff. You don't talk to your friends about what goes on in your office. And dang sure, do not post pictures on social media from your office, because you never know. Like for us, we had stuff all over our cubicle walls, sticky notes and memos, call such and such a patient on such and such a day, on account number such and such, and different coding things. So if I took a selfie in my cubicle, I was probably going to have some PHI in the background. So it was a rule. We did not take pictures in our work area. And if we did, they did not go on social media. We would share them amongst ourselves in the office, and that was it. We made sure they didn't go anywhere else. If we even took pictures back there, which was rare, very rare. Our boss she didn't want any slip ups, understandably, So don't talk to your friends in social media about what goes on in your office, the weird things you might come across. It's tempting. It really is. But you never know who's going to know who. You really don't. You really don't. Who's going to recognize the scenario that you're talking about. Okay. And in that kind of instance, guys, you're not only breaking HIPAA because you let out enough information that somebody identified that patient. So you broke HIPAA. You broke that patient's rights, the privacy rights, the security rules. You broke all that. Because you didn't have the right to spill that person's story on social media, so keep that stuff in mind before we get talkative. And there's you will come across stuff. You'll come across stuff that you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. And you want to talk about it with your coworkers and let it stop there, just to protect you. All right. So I do want to also talk about with HIPAA, the difference between a covered entity and a business associate. Okay, so we know that our covered entities are our providers, our insurance carriers, our billing services and stuff like that, right? Our business associates are the outside businesses that we deal with that gets exposed to our information, our sensitive information. Okay. So like, as far as me, I do contract work for this urgent care. What would I be considered? Am I a business associate or am I a covered entity? Anybody got a guess?
Business associate.
A contractor?
A covered entity?
I'm actually a covered entity because I was hired on to do the billing services. So I have access to the same information that the providers have and the same information that the insurance companies have. And I have that access on purpose. Okay. Me being a covered entity says I have a certain level of access to that information. A business associate somebody who comes in to do the cleaning for that office, or somebody who comes in to fix the air conditioner or something
I
like
got
that.
you.
They have no reason to look at that private information. And if they should see or hear something that goes on in your office, as a business associate, they should have signed an agreement that says whatever they see or hear is just that. They see it, they hear it, and then it's no more. They do not spread it. They do not remember it. They do not look at it, nothing. They make an agreement that they will keep that sensitive information, should they come across it, to themselves and not spread it about. That's why they sign a business agreement. Okay, I'm a covered entity. A little bit different because I have specific entitled access to that information. And I know that I got to keep it to myself, that it's protected. Okay. So yeah, that was one thing I wanted to ask y'all, see if y'all covered entity or business associate, but that's how you tell the difference. Specific intended access to information, and a business associate is not gonna have that. It's gonna be somebody from the outside that is doing a service for your company or your provider, something to that effect. Okay. There was something else I want to talk to y'all about. There was a little section in chapter 4 about workplace safety. And with everything that has gone on in our world in the past 3 years, 2 or 3 years, as far as COVID, and now we've got this monkeypox stuff out there. I want to talk a little bit about OSHA and workplace safety and your rights as employees, because I want y'all to take that seriously. No company, just because you work for them, has the right to put your safety at risk, or your health at risk, or your family's health at risk. Okay. They do not. There are certain precautions that they have to take, certain rules that they have to follow to ensure your safety. And if they do not do that, you'll need to speak up, because it's not fair and it's not right. You'll need to speak up. Every company out there is supposed to have an OSHA poster hanging in their office somewhere. It's usually in your break area or somewhere like that, that has a phone number that you can call. I've called this number once in my life, just once, and I've worked a lot of different jobs, a lot of different places. Everything from auto parts to delivering pizza to restaurants to medical stuff. And I've only called the number once, and it was in the last 3 years. And it was because the company that I worked for, after everybody went back to work after COVID, and we had that Delta variant come around, they were still supposed to be quarantining and shutting down when somebody in the office tested positive. Well, the girl in the cubicle in front of me tested positive, and they swept it under the rug. They didn't tell nobody. And I found out, and it pissed me off. It made me really, really mad, because I'm a diabetic and I'm a smoker. So do I need a respiratory illness? No, I do not. No, I do not. They did not follow the rules. They did not notify anybody in the office that she had a positive COVID test. They did not make her quarantine for the 14 days. They allowed her back in the office after a week, sitting right in front of me, hawking a lung up. And that crap made me
I
mad.
have to say, I don't know how she was functioning like that.
She barely was functioning, and it sucked for
Okay.
her. It sucked for her. She knew it was wrong. She didn't want to be there, but she felt like she had to maintain her job. That's how crappy it was. And there were other people who were really uncomfortable with it, who wouldn't say nothing because, again, they had multiple kids and had to maintain a job. Well, I had one kid and I needed my job too, but I need my life more. And I was the person at biggest risk because I sat right next to her, and I was the only one in the room that was a diabetic, and multiple smokers in the room, but that's our choice to smoke, you know. I didn't really choose diabetes. That just kind of came along. But, you know, COVID was very dangerous for people with other comorbidities, as they call them, diabetic being one of those. And I really didn't appreciate that crap. I really didn't appreciate it. My husband didn't appreciate it. You know, I could have brought that home to my kid, but they didn't think about any of that. All they thought about was they were going to have to shut down 2 weeks and they were going to lose business. They were going to lose money. That's all they thought about. And they didn't want that to happen. So if y'all come across situations like that, speak up. And you can do it anonymously. You can do it as anonymously. I didn't. I went to them and I said, "You suck and I'm gonna call on you." Because that's just me. I just, if you're wrong and you're so blatantly wrong, I'm gonna tell you. Because somebody should. Somebody should tell you that you're messing up. You know, and you could do better. You could do better by your employees, you could do better by your clients. You could do better. So, you don't necessarily have to take that route. Like I said, you can do it anonymously. There's not much that I would do anonymously that I wouldn't say, you know, to somebody's face if it was my opinion or the way I felt. So I didn't feel the need to do that. They knew it was me. They understood why. It was okay. It was okay. Hey, cutie patootie. We got that cutie back on. That is a dumpling. Look at that face. Oh, little babies. Y'all, it makes me so sad. Mine starts pre-K tomorrow. Today's her last day at daycare.
I'm ready for Cameron to start something.
Start
Something.
I'm sure you are. He's still so tiny though. So tiny. But okay,
He is so cute.
isn't he?
Thank you.
I love having
Bad.
him
My
as visitors.
goodness.
Look at that curious eyes. Adorable.
Very.
And that was really the main things that I wanted to get through to you guys about why the legal stuff is important, why we need to know it, and taking care of yourselves as far as workplace safety and standing up for yourselves. That's important. I think there's too many people who feel bullied into, because we all need our jobs. You know, we all need our jobs. So there have been, you know, situations when I was younger where I really put myself in jeopardy, in danger to get to my job, because I had a job that did not care about me at all as a person. All they cared about was that their office opened. And they didn't care that it was snowing in Louisiana and my truck didn't have snow tires. They told me I had to go to work. And so I went until the sheriff's office came and said, "I'm going to call the labor board if you don't let this little girl shut down this office." She's the only one in Pineville that is at work right now. Everybody else is at home because we told them to be at home. And you told her she had to be at work or lose her job. You know, and it sucks to work for people like that, but it happens sometimes. So when you find yourself working for people like that, start looking for another job. Don't deal with that kind of treatment. We all deserve better than that. We're all worth more than that. Just don't let people do that to you. And that's hard sometimes when you're in a situation and you need your job. It really gets hard. So, I mean, I get it. But just look, y'all can look behind the scenes for another place. And y'all jobs are a dime a dozen, especially for us. Especially for us, because what we do is specialized. Once you have this training, you'll be able to find a job that you're happy in. I promise you. And it may not be the first one. It may not be the first one you get. You know, like I said, I've worked for several different billing companies, enjoyed all of them. Really enjoyed all of them in my experiences. I really like working for the different specialties and seeing the different cases and stuff like that. I find that interesting. But, you know, I've made the move to where I'm the job I have now, I'm appreciated and I'm cared for. Unitech is wonderful to their employees. I can't say enough good things about them. Urgent EMS that I'm, you know, contracting for, they seem the same way. They seem like they care. I've already been told that if we start treating people with monkeypox, I am not to come up there. Like I right now I'm going up there about once a week to meet with them and discuss things and go over stuff. And they've started giving out the monkeypox vaccine there. It's one of the few places in Shreveport you can actually get it. And I think they started doing that on Monday. But if we start getting a lot of cases up here and we start treating it, I am not allowed at the office because it's deadly to children. It is deadly to children. They don't want to take the chance that I come up there and get it and then bring it home to Paige. I'm the only one that works there with a small child. So I'm not allowed anywhere near there if they get a positive case in the office. And that shows me that they care. They care more about my safety and my child's safety than me getting up there for a couple hours for a meeting. Something we could do over the phone if need be. If it was that deep, you know? So I'm happy where I'm at, and y'all can find that too. I know it. I know it. Y'all can find that too. Do you guys have any questions about legal principles, chapters 3 or 4, or anything like that?
I have a different question.
What you got?
So, like you're saying with the different offices and stuff like that, for instance, if you work in pediatrics, right,
Mhm.
and an infant passed away, do you have to code that
Well, I
and
mean,
put it in the system?
yeah.
That would be sad.
It is. It is. Yeah, there will be times where generally we don't code that the patient passed. You'll read it in the notes or something like that. You'll read it in the reports if you have to dig that deep into the claim or something like that. Or if you're coding it, you're coding that the last visit that they had with their doctor or their hospice care or something like that. Like I said, I worked for a cancer center, and it was pretty sad once you got into things. And yeah, I also did some general pediatric at a hospital in Alexandria. I did the hospitalists that covered the pediatric ward, and that some of that could be sad. You code the illnesses that the babies have, and you're like, geez, a 1-year-old with all this going on, and it'll break your heart. It'll break your heart. So yeah, depending on what specialty you go into, you go into oncology or pediatrics, you know, you'll see some stuff that will affect you if you're a sensitive person. And I definitely am. Stuff like that will get me by the boo-boo every time. You know, I can't stand to see a child in pain. Can't stand it. But yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions? No? All right. Let's talk real briefly about your exam on Monday. That is chapter 3 and 4. It's going to be very, very similar to your chapter 1 exam. Probably 20 to 25 multiple choice. I am going to do, because they're 5 points each, I'm going to go ahead and do that bonus question that I had started a while back. I'll start doing that again, because as y'all noticed, it didn't take you missing very many to get a really low grade. Like some of y'all with that normally make straight A's popped up with some low grades, and I was like, ooh, what happened there? But it was because these questions, there was only 20 questions on the test, and they were 5 points apiece. So I'm gonna try to offset that a little bit for y'all, make that a little bit easier. But like I said, I don't mind granting those retakes when y'all need them. So my new students, Miss Nina, Miss Lauren, Jada, you didn't start last week or this week, but Nina and Lauren, y'all did. Y'all will be responsible for a test on Monday. Exam 1, you're not responsible for because you started on the day they had that exam, so we're not going to hold you responsible for that. But this one you will be responsible for, and all the ones thereafter. So enjoy.
Miss Brandy,
Yes, ma'am.
I can't view the PowerPoints. I don't know why, but can you email them to me again, please?
Yeah, in PDF.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I can do that. Does anybody else having issues with viewing the PowerPoints? Aisha?
You know, I never were able to open the the PDDX or however you send them.
Yeah. the
I never
PowerPoint.
can open those.
Okay, well then I'm gonna go back and I will put the PDF versions on the PowerPoint page for y'all. I got you covered. I got you covered. I'll go back and do that this evening. So those are there for y'all. Cause I know Asia, you really liked having those PowerPoints to go over. Y'all, the PowerPoints do a really good job of summarizing the material in the chapters. And that's why I set for some of your labs the day before an exam, I have it on there to review that PowerPoint. Because it's just like if you went through the chapter and highlighted and took notes, that's how those PowerPoints are set up. They're really fantastic for studying.
But I make too many notes. And then by the time I get to the test, it's like, it's just not even everything that I had. So
Right.
the PowerPoint to give me a little more accuracy on what I need.
Exactly.
And I
Exactly.
agree because I had 1,000 notes and I was like, the PowerPoints are so much better.
Yeah. Yeah. It streamlines it a lot. Like all your most pertinent information. And there was also a couple other things that I wanted to point out to y'all in the book and the study guide that I think will be really useful. Okay, so I don't know if y'all have noticed this, but at the end of each chapter, and I'm gonna try to hold it up so y'all see this. And this is chapter 2's, but it still applies. All right. Okay, y'all can't see this, but at the end of each chapter, the last thing in there is a summary of learning objectives. Y'all read over that because that we pull, like if y'all notice on your labs, I put assignment objectives at the bottom, and that's basically what you're supposed to learn in this material. Is the objective of the assignment is to teach you this. Okay. The summary of objectives is that stuff in a nutshell. And that is what we build our curriculum off of. That's what we put on the syllabus as your objectives for those days is these things. So it's also a very good summarization of the most important information for y'all. So, and there's one I've found so far, there's one at the end of every chapter that summarizes your objectives and what you were supposed to learn. So that's going to be great review for you guys. Great review. I also wanted to point out in the study guide, in the book with the white cover, that I pull your vocabulary and stuff out of. I'm starting to assign you more than just the vocabulary. I don't know if y'all have seen that yet. I think I did it for tomorrow's lab assignments. It's not the vocabulary review. It is like skills and concepts in its certain sections. So just pay
I can't get
attention.
into my study guide, but I don't know why, but it's not loading.
It won't
Like,
load.
it's the next day. It's not loading. Like the page just staying white. And I closed it out, restarted my computer, but it still isn't opening.
Are your other books opening okay?
Yeah, all my other books are fine. Well, you know what? I haven't tried my other books, but I was in the Ken's administrative point. I was in that one. That one worked fine. But then I tried to open up, the study guide and have it side by side while I'm doing the assignment, and it just wasn't opening. And then I closed the book and I tried it, but that book still wasn't open. The study guide still wasn't open.
Did you try to log out and log back in? Because I know that works for me when mine
Yeah.
does that.
I did it 3
No, I'm
times.
talking about
I was just like, I don't
log
know.
out the Evolve account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Try some of your other books, and if you still get that problem with it, if it keeps doing that, let's contact Evolve support. Do it via chat. That's the fastest way to get somebody. Do it via chat and just let them know exactly what's going on. Hey, I'm trying to open this book and it won't open. It was opening fine. My other books are fine, or maybe they're not. Whatever the situation is, let them know and they can help you sort it out. Because unfortunately, that's not something I can fix, or Unitech can fix. That's on the Evolve side of things.
Okay.
As far as with the books, but definitely keep me posted and let me know. And if I have to, I'll email you the pertinent pages out of there or whatever we need to do.
Okay.
Whatever we need to do. But okay, so in that study guide, for those of you that are interested in taking the NCCT prep or the MOA NCCT, if you look, like the sections for each chapter in that study guide are actually pretty thick. There's a lot of stuff in there. And there's one section that is certification review. And it's like 10 or 15 multiple choice questions that are all coming off of this certification exam. They're right there in that study guide for y'all. A little extra practice there, never hurt nobody. And I hope that you guys, those of you that did not see or go to the prep session that Miss Marcia had on Tuesday, I don't know if y'all noticed this or not, and I was gonna announce it to y'all yesterday, but again, I woke up with no internet. So if y'all will notice, there is a new page in your e-learning site. It is called NCCT Prep. And it has your MOA bank of questions, it has your Edmodo codes, and it also has Miss Marcia's prep sessions embedded. Y'all can watch them straight from e-learning. And I have the link to join her sessions on Tuesdays at 2. Also there. Right. All of the NCCT prep stuff is now on one page for y'all. Everybody's got access to it, and you're ready to go. Ready to go. So that's awesome. So this week was week 1 of those sessions. She's going to do it for 6 weeks. We still have 3 more weeks to 151. And then after that is when you guys can start contacting Miss Franny to start scheduling your tests. Fun stuff. And then I'm excited, y'all, because I have my first graduating students at the beginning of October. October 4th, my first 2 students grad out. And then Precious, you're right behind them. It's going to be Danica and Sasiana that are going to grad out on October 4th. And usually their work schedules do not allow them to make it to Zooms, but that's okay. They're going to be my first 2 that grad out. And then right after that, like the week after, is Precious. I think is on October the 6th, maybe. And then Julie is on October 12th. And then Aisha, you're not far behind there either. Not far at all. So.
And I'm in November, right?
Huh?
How does
I
it
said
work?
I'm
It's
in
online.
November.
Martinique, I think you were in November. I think so. I don't have my book that has them all written down. I keep a paper like roll attendance book. And I wrote them down next to your names, what your graduation date was. So I don't have that right in front of me, but.
So that date is like when you finish the program, and
That's
then
the date
then the ceremony is in December, or
Correct.
that's just
correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Your grad date, the projected date is the date you're going to finish with the program. You're done
Okay.
with all of your coursework and you're ready to take your coding certification, and then you walk and get your diploma in December. The walking is optional. I had somebody who lives in Homa ask me, she's like, I'm not going to have a way to get there. She knows that already. She's like, is that going to keep me from graduating? No. When you finish this program, you graduate and you're done. And then you go, and if you want to, you take your certification exam. If you don't want to, that's up to you. Although I don't know why you wouldn't, but it's up to you. But either way, you get to say that you finished this program. The graduation in December and walking for that is strictly ceremonial and optional. It's optional. You do not have to attend. You do not have to participate. I so hope that you do, though. I really do, because it's very special. It's very special. And it's something to be proud of. It's something for your families to be proud of. And they can come and watch you walk and get your diploma. And then, your NTHS members are recognized at graduation. There are people that receive awards, students who, we have what's called the Phoenix Award. If you're somebody who, during this program, you experienced extreme hardships and you fought your way through them, I could nominate you for what's called the Phoenix Award. Basically, y'all know what Phoenixes do, right? They rise from the ashes. So we give our Phoenix award to the student who, no matter the circumstances, rose above and finished their program and just fought through with everything they had. And so we give that person an award. We recognize that fight, that effort. So graduation is great. I really hope that y'all participate, but again, it's totally optional, totally an optional thing. Just to say congratulations from Unitech, basically. But anybody else, there's a few names I need to write down that have popped on since we got on, but any other questions about anything, y'all? Exams, modules, Unitech in general, me in general, whatever. Anything y'all
Where
want?
did you say the questions was located on the study guide for the NCC?
They're in the chapter, like each chapter is kind of really thick, but there's somewhere, like I think it's the last little section in each chapter in the study guide. There's the certification review. And like I said, it's just a list of like 10 multiple choice questions. I was actually thinking about just taking them and making some worksheets for y'all from each chapter, doing it like that. I see you, Aisha, but there's more work, girl. There's more work. Y'all got it in the study guide. Y'all got it in the study guide.
I knew you was gonna say that. I knew it was, but I was like, hey, I mean, if you're gonna do it,
And I may still. Let me see see if my toothache goes away first. I ain't doing nothing after this meeting today. So y'all know. I'm gonna get this thing posted and then that's it for today. Well, no, I'll go and put the PDFs of the PowerPoints. I'll do that. Let me make myself a note because y'all know I'll forget.
Yeah, because I never could pull up the PowerPoints unless it's in PDF form.
If you don't let me know it's broken, I can't fix it.
Well, it just keeps showing you that you have to go to the PowerPoint program and you have to enroll in it. Then they want you to pay so much.
This is the thing. Y'all should already be enrolled and have access to PowerPoint.
I tried it, and for some reason, it's like after when the program thing had shut down for a while, when it had us out for a while, and then since it came back on, it's like, nope, not able to get back on it anymore. It's still asking us, requiring for us to pay for it.
Okay.
So I just
make sure you're
I never have any problems with it.
Make sure you're signing in under your Unitech email though. Are you signing in with your
I
Unitech?
tried that and it'll say that email is not valid.
What do you mean email is not valid?
That's what it would tell me. It
So
like the like for the what it is, Microsoft 365 stuff like that. That's contact. When I put in Unitech email, it say not valid.
So you can't check your Unitech email?
I never try to check the Unitech email, but I just try to use it for the Microsoft. And it'll just say not.
Oh, Miss Brandy, that's what I need help with.
I don't even know how to access the email when I go to.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I need to know how to do the email.
Yeah, like.
I'm glad I brought
Yeah, that's why I never checked it because I never knew you go to.
I never know how to open it.
Okay. Well, generally, and this is why I send stuff to y'all personal emails when I send stuff directly. But if I send y'all a note like from an assignment or from the grade book or anywhere from e-learning or something like that, it automatically sends it to that Unitech email. I'm pretty sure. That's what I was told how it was going to work. So that's why I say y'all check that email every now and then. And if the school or financial aid or anybody like that emails y'all, they're going to use that Unitech email too. So if it's not working, we need to figure out. But you should be able to go to it. Like when I go, you should be able to go to Microsoft 365.
Okay.
And sign in. And it should be like way back in May when the blackout ended and y'all got your Unitech email and your new logons for e-learning. It should be the same logon for your email. Same logon for e-learning and email. They should be identical. So
And when
should
I
be-
put it in there, it says not valid, so I don't know why it's saying that.
then you need to get in touch. If you're sure you're using the right email and the right password that you set up originally, you need to get in
Mhm.
touch with IT and let them know that. Support at
I could get into my
Unitech.
Unitech program, and I normally when I get information from you, if it's not sent to my regular email, it goes to reminder. I have the app for Remind, and
Yeah,
I get the information from there,
yeah.
but
Well, I
not the
don't,
Microsoft.
to be honest with you,
Alright.
Julie, I don't think I've ever left you a note on your grade book or anything, or any of your assignments. You don't ask a lot of questions, and I ain't gotta tell you nothing. You do your stuff. So I mean, I don't ever have to say, hey, don't forget this. I know you're not gonna forget it. So
Nope.
but there are those people, and also y'all, Miss April, if y'all are running behind in labs or something like that, and Miss April pops into my course and sees that, she will send y'all messages through the grade book and through assignments and stuff and say, hey, you're behind on labs. Get with your instructor and see what you need to do to get caught up. And I've seen her do
Send me
that
some
quite a
good
bit.
messages.
And sometimes y'all, if y'all are a new student and she leaves you a message and says, hey, you haven't done any of your labs, it's because she doesn't know that you're a new student. She just sees a student in my course with nothing done. So don't freak out. It was just, there's nothing there for her to indicate to her that you just started this week. That's why you got a note and it says, hey, you ain't done no labs. But you know.
Oh, well, let me start inputting some of my labs, because all I did was I did all my labs up until Friday, but it's in my tablet written down with answers and everything. I just haven't uploaded them yet.
You know, do you think? Do you think? I
So
don't
let
ever
me
have
upload
issue
it
because
just
I
in
know you're
case
gonna
she
do it before they close. You always do it before they
I've
close.
been sitting at work doing all my labs.
There you go. There you
Like,
Yeah, I do all my labs and just don't
them
upload them
together.
until kind of later.
Look at Precious
But
got a
I'll do
little
it.
one climbing over the car.
Um,
Hey, beautiful.
hello.
Okay. Yeah, if you guys are not able to check your Unitech email, you're not sure, try logging into Microsoft 365. Make sure you were logged out of any personal accounts and use the same login that you're using for e-learning to log in there. And if something doesn't work, we got to contact support and get that straightened out. Because that should that's the whole reason we set up your emails through Microsoft 365 was so that y'all could have access to like Microsoft Word and PowerPoint and all that fun stuff and Outlook. Because
Yeah, because that's the only thing that pulls up on mine. I don't see the email tab.
yeah. So we gotta figure out what's going on there.
I had tried to email you, but I don't know if you got it. It wasn't from my
I did, Lauren. I did get your
Unitech
email,
email.
but I have been without internet for the last day and a half. I just got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I sent you a text. Was it you I sent a text message to? I did send a text message to you this morning.
My baby had dropped my phone, so it's glitching right now. So
Gotcha. I got you.
but
Okay.
I was trying to ask you because I just finished my orientation modules, because when I was uploading some of my assignments, I forgot to click the part where it say finish afterwards. So the document was uploaded, but I had a lot of late assignments because I went back this morning. I saw I didn't press finish.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. When I go into grade, either you can go in if they're still open and click that submit button and they'll go ahead and put in. It doesn't matter if they're late. I don't take off points if they're late, but they do close on Sundays. So if you don't get them submitted by Sundays, it will close. But I can still go in and press submit for you and give you your grade. And I'm not going to mark it off. I don't mark off if they're late because I mean, I have 40 some odd students and we all have different work schedules. We all have different life things going on. So if your stuff's late, that's okay. Just make sure you get it in.
Yeah, what I try to do is so I'll do all like my assignments and stuff in the morning, and then when I get off work I'll do the study portion, but I'll just do the homework first because I know it's due, and then I'll study later.
And I highly suggest that if you can knock out that daily assignment in the morning or sometime early on in the day, and then put your lab when you've got more time later on in the evening. I totally suggest that because you never know what's going to pop up in your day, or you may start to feel bad. You may get overly exhausted, whatever the case may, you have a family emergency and you can't get to that lab. You'll have your daily assignment already done and your attendance already accounted for. And you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to stress after that. Then you've got, till Sunday to make up that lab work. But that's how I count your attendance every day, y'all. I go into the daily assignment from the day before and look and see who did it and who didn't. And then who didn't do it, I go into all of your assignments and see if you turned in anything for that day. And if you didn't, well, then you're absent. Unless you have, I've got 2 of y'all right now that have doctor's notes as to why y'all are not doing stuff. So that's okay. That's handled. But yeah, so that's how the daily attendance is gotten. So, and it's very important, y'all, especially my new folks. Y'all, I can't stress enough. If you do not want to hear, and I know some of y'all will laugh because y'all don't ever hear from me. And some of y'all hear from me quite often. But those of you that never hear from me, it's not because I don't care. It's because you're so on top of your stuff that I don't have to be on your back. So yay for you if you never hardly hear from me. And those of you that do hear from me, don't feel bad about it, because sometimes some of us just need a little more push than others. And especially if you're going through some things, you may need a little bit more support, a little more motivation than others at other times. And that's fine. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Just, y'all know me. I'm pretty laid back. I just ask that you put in the effort, do the work, and we'll get you there. We'll get you there. But anything else we need to talk about while we're here? We good? All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to take some ibuprofen and wait for this thing to upload. So y'all have a most blessed evening and a very great weekend. Love y'all bunches. Thank y'all again for all of your time, and look forward to that exam on Monday. Bye, ladies.
Alrighty. Y'all have a good
Bye,
day, girl.
ladies.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, everybody.